Imagine waking up to find your country is no longer ruled by a foreign power, no external government, no distant authority deciding the laws you live by. The future of the nation belongs to its citizens. This shift prompts a few specific questions. Why did the transition take place on this particular day? And beyond the celebration, what did that shift in authority actually mean for the people living through 1947? Politically, independence is the transition to self-governance. For India, the 15th of August 1947 marked the formal end of British colonial administration. This change in the legal structure of the country required decades of preparation. To understand why the clock striking midnight mattered, we have to look at the generations of effort that led up to it. Challenging colonial rule involved a vast range of tactics. It included organized mass political movements, civil resistance, nationwide boycotts, and targeted revolutionary activities. These efforts relied on a broad coalition of farmers, students, factory workers, and reformers. Citizens with different social backgrounds and political beliefs working toward the same objective. History often highlights the specific leaders who organized these movements, like Jawaharlal Nehru, but the momentum of the struggle was sustained by the millions of ordinary people whose names were never recorded. The journey to 1947 was powered by the consistent, unrecorded risks taken by these citizens. The final transition was the result of a mass achievement. By the summer of 1947, as seen in this meeting between British officials and Indian leaders, the final transfer of power had become a rapid, legal process. On July 18th, the British Parliament passed the Indian Independence Act. This legislation provided the formal mechanism to divide the territory into two new sovereign dominions. The date itself was a matter of law. August 15th is the anniversary of independence because it was the specific day mandated by that Act of Parliament. On the night of August 14th, the Constituent Assembly Hall was filled with people waiting for the final minutes of the colonial era to pass. At midnight, the new legal status took effect. The national flag became the physical symbol of a sovereign state, concluding the previous administration. The achievement of a sovereign government occurred simultaneously with the humanitarian crisis of partition. This photographic record of refugee camps shows the immediate cost. Millions of people were forced to leave their homes as new borders were drawn through established communities. Steam locomotives like this one became the primary method for a mass migration that displaced millions of people, permanently separating families in the process. This history makes August 15th a complex anniversary. It marks a moment of significant political progress that was deeply intertwined with human suffering. Establishing a sovereign government provided the necessary foundation for the nation, but the new administration inherited a list of immediate internal crises. The state had to develop systems to address widespread poverty, modernize the healthcare system, and create an educational infrastructure where none existed. The early leaders of the nation argued that political power was only useful if it was applied to improving the lives of citizens and ensuring equal opportunity. The transition in 1947 served as the starting point for a multi-decade effort to build a stable and equitable democracy. This history forces each of us to critically examine our current actions with the power we have today. Exercising freedom involves the responsibility to contribute to the nation's growth, protect the rights of others, and ensure that every citizen can live with dignity. The value of one person's agency is diminished if it depends on the marginalization or suffering of someone else. Maintaining a sovereign state requires each new generation to actively protect and refine the democratic systems they inherited. Independence Day serves as a reminder that the systems we build today determine the agency and the opportunities of the generation that follows.